queries to the remote database, to the operational database. So we're not putting any pressure on that system. One of the key design points is the ability to use the compute in Synapse and not have any impact on the operational system, because that thing is built, geared, and really needs to continue to deliver low latency to applications. So I want to start here by running a query. And what you'll notice here is I'm just taking a top 100, but I'm using the keyword open row set. Now we're going to use open row set a lot today. Open row set is a function that enables me to point to the fact that it's Cosmos DB. I've given it an account here. I've given it a database name, and then I've given it a key to that Cosmos DB as well. And so if I go run a query here, this will run for a moment. But the important thing about this is that the data that is flowing into this data set is in near real time. And so as I continue to run this query throughout the day, I'm going to see the latest data that's landed in my Cosmos DB operational system. And this is valuable because if the dynamics of your data are such that it is very variable or volatile during the day, and maybe your traditional 24-hour or 12-hour batches are just the latency is too high to make the best or most informed business decisions each day. Having this real-time access to the data without putting compute impact on the operational system can be very valuable. So I ran this query and we got some results back, and this is good. Now, what's important about serverless is it's built on the same T-SQL language that we use in SQL Server and other platforms. There's a ton of familiarity for developers who have spent many years working on Microsoft's family of SQL products, be it SQL Server or SQL Database, Managed Instance, and of course serverless and dedicated form factors in Synapse. Basic things like count star, of course, work as well. But what I actually want to show here as that runs, so you can see we've only got about 28,000 records we're working with, is just to do something slightly more complex here. And so here, we're doing some basic counts and sums. We're still using open row set, right? I've just used this exact same line from every single query in the statement. But then we start to do something a little more complicated here, where what I'm actually doing is introducing, we're doing aggregates, where the calculation was actually looking at the total transactions for each of these product codes, so these three Surface products, and it's looking at the percentage relative to the total amount. And so here you can see the data we've created is a perfect blend, a perfectly even split of the number of rows per product, but the quantities were variable. And so it's a really basic example. The point of today is not to get into sort of convoluted and complex SQL examples. It's more to demonstrate the fact that you can bring your T-SQL skills to serverless. There's a little bit of a difference here with respect to how you might be familiar with interacting with tables or views. I'm going to get to external tables in a second. But once you've got Synapse links set up with serverless, you're now running SQL queries. You can put, as I mentioned, BI tools on top of that, and you can think about really a simple end-to-end real-time analytics pipeline without needing to build a whole lot of code or pipelines to get that data flowing and maintaining the flow of that data consistently. Now, I'm going to actually take a step back now and get started on the data lake. We went straight into the open row set and showed some examples there. These examples are not online. And you'll need to configure Synapse Link. So I want to start there before we moved into some of the scenarios that are available to you through the Azure Open Datasets in the Knowledge Center. Before I do that, however, what I'd like to do is really think about how and show you how a lot of customers are using serverless today for interactive exploration over the data lake. And for that, I have a data lake storage account here, and I'm going to start on this raw data. Now, Synapse provides a full web-based storage explorer directly within the studio. And so actually, if I step back up a level, you can see it's a hierarchical file and folder system. So this is Azure Data Lake Store Gen 2 that we're looking at here. And within this, I can drill into data, and I've got, in this scenario, I've got a set of Parquet files that I can look at. So, what Synapse really enables you to do is create this unification of this storage between the lake, which is incredibly flexible and scalable with respect to the variety of data you can store.